chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carlos, really running the best. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. All in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Goff on 1st down. Flushed out right. And this is caught at the 8th. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Gerald Everett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Ronald Jones, played his collegiate ball on this field for USC. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's come home. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure. He's got a man complete. Brandon Cooks past the 20. Touchdown, LA. Brandon Cooks. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Rams strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 43 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Starting left here.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Hey, Shell. 12, 17.
Goff now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long.
Shell. Tiger. 14.
Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to kick it away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. A little juke. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, it's Jones. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Carl Nassib in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So out come the Bucs now, and they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Underwood. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Off the play fake. Underwood. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. They'll go with Jones. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Now a first down throw. Gone. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. Point after up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Looking to throw. Underwood. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over, as he's given his guys a first down. Operating from the gun. Underwood. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The intended target was Chris Godwin. That'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Underwood. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
Louis. Tiger. DC. 12. Hey, 5. Whirling. 12. Go.
After the interception, here's Goff. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it's 2nd down.
Maverick.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Underwood. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Throwing on 1st down. Underwood got his man complete over the middle. It's Howard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Underwood. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Flex round! Flex round!
On first down, Underwood firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Flex round! Flex round!
The first carry for the Utah man now. It's Joe Williams. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. Underwood under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Samson Ebukam in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Looking to throw. Underwood. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Super one! Super one!
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. We're good. We're good. Do up.
Goff on first down. Now he's flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Carl Nassib in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Goff. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's gone. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. From the gun, here's Goff. Shakes off the sack. Buying time to his left. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
On 1st and 10, Underwood under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Now this is fielded in the end zone. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Let's go. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Starting left here. Tiger. Turbo set.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
5.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Being chased out left. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
DC. 12.
Goff going to throw it. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay then.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the line. And he's going to go down again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Underwood. That's caught by Howard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Throwing now, Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And incomplete on the deep ball. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for L.A., they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Seattle Seahawks come to town. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.